USA Sports TV. Today's a very special episode, an episode focused completely on NFL free agency. NFL free agency is just about to kick off, and a lot of teams are looking for that player that might push them over the hump to get them to the Super Bowl in New Orleans this year. A lot of great players on the market, and let's take a look at a couple of these players and what they might mean to their new teams. First of all, a little bit of a promotion. USA Sports Magazine coming to UK soon as well. If you haven't read it yet, you must do so. The biggest name on the market this year is Peyton Manning, four-time MVP, Super Bowl winner in 2006, led his Colts to another Super Bowl in 2009. We're talking about one of the greatest players in NFL history. But last season was a terrible season for the Indianapolis Colts. They lost Manning due to a neck injury. He didn't play all season. The Colts were just atrocious. Had a terrible season, picked up the first overall pick, and they decided to go with Andrew Luck, the future of the team. And Peyton Manning was subsequently released by Jim Irsay. Manning is looking for new teams, and there are many suitors on the market. Teams like the Arizona Cardinals, Denver Broncos, and Miami Dolphins are highly interested and have had visits or talks with Peyton Manning already. A couple of the other teams that might be interested are teams like the Tennessee Titans, but one of my favorites, the San Francisco 49ers, which should be a great fit all over. Why? Because they have a fantastic defense. They have a good running game with Frank Gore and Kendall Hunter in the backfield, a good young coach in Jim Harbaugh, and they're looking for that arm that gives them that vertical threat that will take them to the Super Bowl. I'm sure if Manning was on that team, they would have beaten the Giants easily. Manning might be interested. We're not sure yet. There are a lot of suitors. We're going to hear about Peyton Manning really soon. A player who might join him there, Mike Wallace, speedster. Drafted by the Pittsburgh Steelers, one of the best vertical threats in the game today. Not a lot of players can take it to the house at any time. Mike Wallace is one of those players. Problem is, the Steelers can't pay him. They don't have enough cap room to keep him there, so they tendered him a restricted free agent offer of about $2.5 million. This means the market is open for Wallace. Any team can offer him a contract, and it's up to the Steelers to match it. If the team is smart enough, they just offer him a front-laden contract with a big money amount in the first year. I'm pretty sure the Steelers will not and cannot match that offer. And then it's just going to take that first-round draft pick that you have to give to the Steelers for taking over Mike Wallace. For teams like the Patriots and the San Francisco 49ers, who have the 31st and 30th pick in the draft, that might just be the perfect deal. Mike Wallace will have many suitors on the market. This man, Super Mario Williams, pass rusher, first overall pick in 2006. 53 sacks the last couple of years. One of the best pass rushers we see in the NFL today. Missed the entire 2011 season. The problem with the Texans is they found bookend pass rushers in their new 3-4 scheme in Connor Barwin and Brooks Reed, the rookie from Arizona. So Mario Williams might not be coming back. The bigger problem is his cap number. Because of his first overall pick contract, and the franchise tag would have been $22 million, an impossible amount to lay down for a player, for a defensive end. So he hit the open market. We're not sure if he might not be back with the Texans. I'm pretty sure he will not. Teams like the Seattle Seahawks are highly interested in this player. Chicago Bears has been named as a destination. But even outsiders like the Jets or the Patriots might be willing to offer Williams a big contract to get him to sign with that team. Carl Nicks, one of the best friends of the record-breaking quarterback Drew Brees. Carl Nicks is one of the best guards we have in the NFL today. A player that can do it all. Great on the great pulling guard, who's obviously great in getting to that next level. When he puts his hand on a player, it's over. But he's also a great pass-blocking guard, which is very rare. This man can do it all. Him and his partner, Jari Evans, are the best guard tandem in the NFL today. But he wants a contract even bigger than the one Jari Evans got last season. So it's almost impossible for the Saints to keep him. They franchised Drew Brees, and they still have Colston and Nicks to sign. We're looking for Nicks to be highly sought after. Teams like the Arizona Cardinals, like the Chicago Bears, like even a team maybe like the Washington Redskins are looking for an upgrade on the offensive line. Those teams will certainly be in the market for a player like Carl Nicks, and they're going to be happy when they bring this big man in for training camp. Cortland Finnegan might be one of the most annoying players we know in the NFL. We all remember the squabble between him and Andre Johnson, where Johnson just ripped off his helmet and threw it to the ground. But it's a testament to Cortland Finnegan that he even dared to take on Andre Johnson, who's at least 25 or 30 pounds heavier and has a couple of inches on him. But Finnegan is one of the best man defenders we have in the league today. He can fit in a lot of schemes. Teams like the Dallas Cowboys, St. Louis Rams, Tampa Bay Buccaneers are all looking for a good cornerback and will be in the market for Cortland Finnegan. Has 14 interceptions over 93 games, and that's a good number for a man corner. Doesn't get the opportunities a zone corner will get. I like Cortland Finnegan, as do a lot of players, teams in the NFL. He will be the #1 cornerback coming off the market. The freak, Randy Moss. He's back, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, he is. He missed 2011 because of retirement. Wasn't happy that the Patriots offered Chad Ochocinco the 3-year deal he wanted. So he just decided, you know what? I'll retire. But Moss is back. He had a couple of tryouts with the Saints and with the Niners. Funny thing, at the tryout with the 49ers, it was Coach Jim Harbaugh, former NFL quarterback, who threw him the football. He supposedly looked great. And let's be real, it's a great player. 153 touchdowns. Yes, 153 touchdowns. Over 14,000 yards in receiving. He might even get his 1,000th catch this season. He's on 945 right now, on pace, if he has a good season, to get that number. The only question mark I have is Alex Smith, because he signed with the San Francisco 49ers. Is Alex Smith able to get him that ball? But if he can, this will be a perfect fit in that scheme. He will open up the underneath routes for plays like Vernon Davis and Michael Crabtree and give an instant upgrade to an offense that lacked explosive plays down the field. I expect a big year from Randy Moss. Another San Francisco 49er, Carlos Rogers, came over from the Washington Redskins, where he was an okay corner, but he wasn't the top corner that you'd expect from a high draft pick that he was a couple of years ago. But Rogers found his game in San Fran. Was a perfect fit in that defense. Good cover guy, can play zone and man, but he's also tough enough to stick his nose in there and go for the tackle. Grabbed 6 interceptions last season and made a lot of big plays. Was all over the field, deflecting passes and making sure his team did not give up the big plays. Carlos Rogers should be a very high priority for the San Francisco 49ers to re-sign. If you get a player like that back, you know your defense is going to be fine in the back end. Because he's going to be defending players like Vincent Jackson. Unbelievably fast, big, talented receiver. Vincent Jackson has been having problems with the general manager for the San Diego Chargers, A.J. Smith. Smith doesn't want to pay Vincent Jackson, which I find, well, stupid to say the least. Because you're willing to pay Eric Weddle $8 million a year. Warren Sapp called him a safety you can't pick out of a lineup, and I completely agree. But you're not willing to pay a player like Vincent Jackson. V-Jax grabbed 1,104 yards last season, 9 touchdowns on only 60 passes. That means he had 18.7 yards average per catch. That's an unbelievably high number, especially for a guy 6'5". He's a perfect vertical threat. That's why the Chicago Bears are highly coveting this man. It will be great to see Jay Cutler and that rocket rifle arm throw it down the field and see V-Jax go up and get it. But it's not the only team that wants him. Tampa Bay is highly in the market. If the Washington Redskins get their cap situation straight, it will be a perfect fit. RG3 and this man right here will become instant best friends from day one, I guarantee you. Stephen Tulloch, perfect 4-3 middle linebacker, came over from the Tennessee Titans last season and was instantly the leader of the Detroit Lions team that was great last season. Took them all the way to the playoffs. 111 tackles, 2 interceptions, 3 sacks. This man was all over the field. But it's going to be very hard to keep him. Why? Because the Detroit Lions have $60 million set away for 4 players alone: Calvin Johnson and Ndamukong Suh, Matthew Stafford, and the recently franchised Cliff Averill. Knowing that a team has 53 players and the salary cap is set on $120.6 million, it's going to be tough to keep a player like this. I hope he gives the home team a discount based on last season, willing to grow with the team, and might be able to be great in the NFC North next year. Totally must be a high priority for the Lions, but teams like the Eagles are definitely in the market for a player like him. Jared Gaither, one of the better tackles, actually talent-wise, pure talent-based. He's one of the best there is, but it's the mentality that hasn't helped him out over the last couple of years. The Baltimore Ravens were always squabbling with him, so they decided to let him go. Ended up on the Kansas City Chiefs roster, didn't pan out, got released, but he lucked out. Chargers lost their left tackle Marcus McNeil, picked this man up, and he was perfect in that scheme. He just fit. Sometimes with players it just fits, and Jared Gaither was one of those players. Enjoyed watching him play in San Diego, but there will be many suitors for this man. A lot of teams need tackles. A team like the Arizona Cardinals just let go of Levi Brown. Chargers must try to re-sign themselves. But also teams like the Bears obviously need help at the tackle positions. Jared Gaither will have many suitors, like all the players we have on the list here. I think he's the best tackle available in free agency this year. Last player on the list, Brandon Lloyd, one of the most athletic receivers we have today. Played for the St. Louis Rams last season, had 950 yards, 5 touchdowns. He wasn't great, let's be honest, but that whole team wasn't great. But this guy can do it all. Maybe you remember that one-handed catch he made on the sideline against the Cleveland Browns, where he one-handed it and tapped both feet in. It was evenless. It was one of the biggest highlights we've seen all season. I love Brandon Lloyd. You know who else loves Brandon Lloyd? Josh McDaniels. You know who he loves? Josh McDaniels. Why? Josh McDaniels took his career to the next level when he was the head coach with the Denver Broncos. Over 1,500 yards. He was instantly one of the best fantasy receivers out there. Josh McDaniels is with the Patriots now. Brandon Lloyd has already stated he would love to become a Patriot. He's seen Tom Brady work with lesser receivers and take them all the way to the Super Bowl. Imagine if he has a good player that can stretch the field, that can play great in those intermediate to high routes. This guy can do it all. Brandon Lloyd might be a great fit this season for the Patriots. Thanks for watching. The pictures were all made possible by Getty Images, a partner of USA Sports. I want to thank you for watching and ask you to see you the next time. Thank you.